Hello from China. So I'm in a grocery store right now, and I wanted to show you how the American tariffs are affecting Chinese customers. So it's gonna get some beef for dinner tonight, and I saw this. So what used to be here is American beef, but now, as you can see, it says Australian beef. And I did look around. I couldn't find one single pack of beef from America. So I guess China just stopped buying beef from America and it went straight to Australia. So the whole idea that China is hurting because of the American tariffs, well, they're not, because they're not as dependent on the US. In fact, only 18% of Chinese imports come from America. And for stuff like beef and soy, they can just go somewhere else easily. So I guess I'm having Australian beef for dinner tonight instead of American beef. And honestly, because of the food quality, I probably trust Australian beef better. And this box of beef right here is 50 RMB, which is about $7 US. So to answer the question, China ain't hurting. And if anything, I think we're probably doing even better, because now that we have better beef that tastes better and at a better price. So thank you, Trump, for that.
Shalom, shalom. Call halal yamla. YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, RICANS. Double honors to the elders and apostles, a great millstone to teach and move well. Peace and salutations be to hopeful elect. I'm I'm coming at you from the province of Babylon, camp here in Tampa, Florida. Alright, this lesson is going to be a quick in transit going into how the tariffs are affecting China at this moment. Okay? If they even are affecting China, because you just got this video, which was this lesson is based off of, where this woman is going into how the tariffs aren't really affecting China like that, how they only depended upon their imports were only 18% dependent upon America. So when they were receiving America's beef, they're not receiving America's beef anymore. They just went to Australia to get it. Now they're getting beef imported from Australia, which they say is better, tastes better and healthier, and probably even at a better price, man. Okay, so at this point they're just bragging about how they're still doing good. But you had the prime minister, or the guy that represented him. He said, we were doing fine, before America. We were doing fine for 500 years, and we intend to do fine for another 500 years after America. Okay, so really now you got China making it look like America is really just hurting itself, really just kicking against the pricks. At this point, they're really bringing down hell upon themselves, is what China making it seem like, is because America wanted everybody to believe that the world wouldn't function without them, but now the world is continuing to move forward without their products, okay, and move around their tariffs, okay, as if nothing ever really happened. In fact, they should, like the girl said in the video, she said, in fact, she believes China is doing better than they were before. All right. So, yeah, these countries that Trump placed, like China, they put Trump talking about 200 to 300% tariffs on China. Yeah, but that's ineffective if China's just going to go get their products and imports from elsewhere, right? So at this point, Trump is just looking like a fool, okay? Because Trump, you can look on anything, look on something in your possession at this moment, and it may say made in China on it, okay? So who's really going to be affected by these tariffs here? All right, Trump is putting himself in putting this country into a corner. Okay, now the country's backed into a corner and it's getting weaker and weaker, and eventually these nations are going to lash out on it. It's going to tear it to shreds. Okay, they ain't going to hold back either. All right, they're going to give this country everything that this country has given them, like the scriptures say. Matter of fact, we can go and grab that. In the book of Revelation, chapter 18 and verse 5, for her sins have reached unto heaven, and YAHAWASHI hath remembered her iniquities. All right, reward her even as she rewarded you, and double unto her double according to her works. So reward America even as she rewarded everybody else. Okay, she's been harsh, she's been bullying people. All right, China said it, Canada said it, so we're not going to be bullied by you anymore. Okay, so these nations are tired of being bullied by the great big hammer, like the scripture calls her, the hammer of the whole earth. Matter of fact, we can grab that. Let's see. So it says, reward her even as she rewarded you, and double unto her double according to her works, in the cup which she hath filled, fill to her double. All right. So she gonna get filled to a double. She gonna get that double portion of what she put out, what she dished out. And she dished out she dished out cruelty. She dished out harshness, death and destruction, captivity, slavery, oppression, bullying. Okay, so these countries are gonna return that unto her double fold. All right. It says, how much she hath glorified herself and lived deliciously, so much torment and sorrow give her. So for as much as she is as she has lived deliciously and glorified herself, because she didn't glorify herself of her own gain, she glorified it off of the suffering and hurt and oppression of other nations, of Israel. Okay, Babylon has destroyed and hurt and killed and raped and robbed and made many people miserable just for her glorification. So just as much as she has glorified herself, so much pain give her. It says, how much she hath glorified herself and lived deliciously, so much torment and sorrow give her. For she saith in her heart, I sit a queen and am no widow, and shall see no sorrow. America, and you talk to these people here in Babylon, they truly believe that they will never be touched. We're America. We're the greatest country in the world. You really think it's going to happen to us? They're so prideful. That's why the scriptures say, the pride of her heart hath deceived thee. Okay? But though you say this in your heart, you wicked ass sick Edomites, you prideful Edomites, it says, therefore shall her plagues come in one day, death and mourning and famine, and she shall be utterly burned with fire. For strong is the Lord YAHAWAH who judgeth her. So the Lord is the judge, and you about to get judged. Okay? It says, and the kings of the earth who have committed fornication and lived deliciously with her shall bewail her. All right, and lament for her when they shall see the smoke of her burning. All right, really, these countries don't want America to go out bad. Really, they don't want to destroy America. They hoping and they waiting for Trump's turn to be over, hoping that somebody else will get in office and return those promises to them, return those treaties to them. Okay, and return those deals with them. And deal with them as they used to, because America is the largest consumer in the world, the largest consumer country in the world. All right, is buying all of its product. All of its products is imported. Okay, they've done away with most of their factories. Okay, and manufacturing centers. Okay, so everything is usually manufactured in these other countries. All right, a lot of jobs have been destroyed because America is depending on these other countries to import their goods. Right. So truly, deep down, the kings of these other nations, like Putin, like Xi, okay, they really ain't put hands on Babylon yet, because they really hoping that somebody can get Trump out of office, assassinate Trump, or impeach Trump, or they want to wait till his term is over, as much as lieth in them, because what they want, those deals that they once had with America again. Okay, they want to return to the way it was before. And they still got hope in their heart for that, because that America made these other countries rich, right? It says, standing afar off for the fear of her torment, saying, alas, alas, that great city Babylon, that mighty city. Okay, because Babylon, America, which is America today, is considered the mighty city. For in 1 hour is thy judgment come. That mighty city, so mighty, so strong and powerful, but in 1 hour is going to be destroyed, right? So the Lord is very upset with this country. All right, for what they did to his chosen. Okay, and he gonna use the anger of these other nations and mix it in with his anger to judge this nation. All right, that's why America ain't got much time left. When things really get when things really get going, these people about to get these people about to get going, man. These people are gonna get up and run back to their own countries. Okay, they don't want to be here for that. They don't want to be here to be judged with America. They find out that the Lord is about to judge America. They don't want to be partakers in that. I'm not. This ain't even my country. I'll go back home. I don't belong here. I don't want to be a part of that. You know, because what happened when somebody getting their ass beat? All of a sudden, everybody that was cool with them don't know him anymore, because they don't want that same ass whooping, right? So it's going to be the same thing for America. And America's judgment is going to be so great, everybody going to believe in that day. Everybody going to know, man, this is the Lord's judgment. This is the Lord's punishment for her. All right? People going to be all the way on the side of the world seeing the smoke of her torment rise up to the sky. Seeing the black smoke in the sky. Oh, that's America? Okay. So, you know, it's only going to get worse for America. It says, and the merchants of the earth shall weep and mourn over her, for no man buyeth their merchandise anymore. Okay, so America was the main person was the main country buying up all the merchandise in these other countries, man. Okay, it says the merchandise of gold and silver and precious stones and of pearls and fine linen and purple and silk and scarlet and all thine wood and all manner vessels of ivory and all manner vessels of precious wood and of brass and iron and marble and cinnamon and odors and ointments and frankincense and wine and oil and fine flour and wheat and beasts and sheep and horses. See, like the meat, they was getting their meat from these other countries as well, man. It says beasts and sheep and horses and chariots and slaves and souls of men. So they were literally buying men. Okay, buying slaves from other countries. People flying out over here to work in Babylon, man, thinking that they're finna live the American dream. It says, matter of fact, we'll end it off with that and grab this right here. Jeremiah chapter 15, verse 23. How is the hammer of the whole earth cut off? We'll start at verse 22. Jeremiah 15:22. A sound of battle is in the land, and of great destruction. How is the hammer of the whole earth cut asunder and broken? How has Babylon become a desolation among the nations? This thing seemed like an impossible thing to happen. So when these people walk by us, that's impossible. That'll never happen. They really believe that because of how mighty Babylon has shown themselves to be. How dreadful this country has shown themselves to be. Okay? It says here, how has Babylon become a desolation among the nations? Because Babylon is about to become desolate. Okay, these nations are among these nations. Babylon is considered the most powerful superpower in the world, man. Okay, rearing its horns up at these other countries, and these other countries are getting stronger too. Okay, so it says, I have laid a snare for thee, and thou art also taken, O Babylon, and thou wast not aware. They're not even aware that they're falling right into a trap. Trump thinking that he got the upper hand, but really he doesn't. He's really falling into the hands of the Lord. And the scriptures say it is a fearful thing to fall into the hands of the living power. Okay. So it says, O Babylon, and thou wast not aware, thou art found and also caught, because thou hast striven against the Lord. And how do you strive against the Lord? By striving against his people. Okay. And against Yahawashi Mashiach, by painting him to be another man. Okay, by blaspheming the RICANS and deceiving the world and blaspheming the name of the Lord, YAHAWASHI, making the world to believe that making the Lord to listen to your best, so like you're making the world to see and listen to your deceptions and blasphemy of who YAHAWASHI is. Okay, as Job 9:24 tells you, the earth is given to the hand of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? Roughly paraphrasing. So if this isn't the devil, who is, man? He's hidden the face of the Lord, the face of his prophets. He's covered up the truth. All right, his true people. Okay, so you strove against the Lord. Therefore your country gonna be found empty. All these missiles, these warplanes, armies and military equipment and weapons you got over here, all that money you got built up, it's going to be desolate, man. It's going to be wiped away clean, all right? Because you strove against the Lord. Okay, so you think you're hurting these other countries by placing tariffs on them, but really they all banded together and get ready to come against your ass, man. And what you going to do in that day? All right? Well, with that, I truly hope this lesson was edifying to you. I came out wath for listening to with sincerity. Until next time, Yahshua, I give all glory, honor, praises unto Yahawah, BAHASHAM, YAHWASHI, BAHASHAM, Shalom.